Well, y'all, hopefully you can hear me. So I am in the truck. I got this turd started, and I am headed to Brock's shop to drop this off so we can get to working on this thing. Fingers crossed that I make it. It hasn't ran in like a year and a half. I did put some fresh gas in it, but I've got about a 30-mile drive. So fingers crossed we make it there. I'm gonna try to take gravel basically 90% of the way, just off the highway, which is over there. The brakes don't work the greatest because it's not getting proper vacuum. It is chugging, but it is going. I keep getting service tracks control and StabiliTrak messages, but it's still moving and we didn't have to pay for a tow, so I'm stoked on that. They haven't got that field yet, but it's ready to come out. Just gotta make sure I take a left at the right spot. Take a left at the right spot. Take a right at the left spot. Huh. Dude, it feels really good to be back in this thing, even though it's running like crap. I missed this truck. Yeah, stoked on it. I cleaned everything out of it. Yeah, that ain't right, but it's been sitting with a dead battery in my driveway for this whole time. So I was surprised that it actually started, honestly. Come on, you can do it. I did forget how loud this thing was, though. And it kind of seems like it doesn't want to shift. But I'm not used to the 4-speed anymore because we have 10 in the F-150. You know, it shifted fine. All right, I got to get back to driving here. Well, y'all, we've made it here. No problems, thankfully. I gotta figure out where to park this turd. I'm just gonna leave it running for now.
This thing gonna clear the door? Forgot how tall it is, yeah.
Well, guys, all right. So we're back, and we're back here at Brock's shop, Barnyard Garage. And we're gonna toss this thing on the lift. Hopefully today we can get the motor pulled out, and then we'll work on getting that shoved in there. We still gotta unbox that thing. And I guess for those of you that are new to the channel, because it's been like a year and a half since I blew this thing up, this was my camping truck. And if we go back a few more years, I had some motor work done to it. It dropped a lifter because of the cylinder deactivation nonsense. Had a cam put in by a different shop, and I guess you could kind of mention the valve spring stuff.
So we think that at this point it's just because it had too many miles on the valve spring. So these valve springs are rated for just a little bit over what these springs can do. And it's just, you said what, like 100,000 miles you put on here? So yeah, that's my guess, is it's just too much time on the valve springs, and one of them let go, and it just happened to let go. Weren't you in Colorado when it let go? Yeah.
So on your average everyday driver, you don't need to do valve springs like every 100,000. Or he was telling me.
Probably, honestly, on a lot of the LS stuff,
wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, especially like some of the cars. I don't know. Once you get to the higher lift stuff.
Yeah.
Stock trucks, no, but I've had a lot come in with like 120, 150,000 miles that are misfiring. And it ends up being a valve spring. They're not even broken. They're just a weak valve spring.
Oh, okay.
And it can't control it, so the valve hangs open and it'll pop through the intake and do stuff like that. So,
see, I'm learning new things every day also. But yeah, I'm gonna let Brock kind of spearhead this. I'm just here to help turn some wrenches as necessary, I guess, and we're gonna get this knocked out. Hopefully, have this thing back on the road soon. So yeah. Anything else you want to add?
no, hopefully we can find the wheel nut key.
Yeah. Oh yes, yes.
Oh yeah, because you've got more displacement. So, but they're just like a not choppy cam, but they're almost the same lift as I'd start getting like shaken up, and I'm like, oh, I'd be okay, but I'm like, I need to just get myself out of this situation. You know, I'd like try to let one get going and blah blah blah. And now
All right, so we're to the point where we got the intake and stuff off the top, and there's been a few mice in here hanging out. You guys can see that.
it's the GMT 900 mousetrap.
Is it? Is that like a piece of foam that's
yes, all
between
of
the
them.
intake plenum
Yep.
in there?
Yep, every single one of these, they all have mice. Every one in the Midwest I've ever touched.
Huh. Well,
Unless they have really low miles, but then they normally have mice too because they've just been parked.
yeah, and this thing sat in my driveway for a year and a half.
Yep.
Well, we're making much quicker progress than I would do on my own, I can tell you that. We're pulling the headers out. He likes to pull the headers completely out. It makes everything easier. And then, like, we're trying to decide everything we're going to do. I think we're going to put new motor mounts in it. What else? Like a new oil sending unit. Just a bunch of random things like that. We'll add new stuff.
See if this angle works. I'm gonna have to. Because you can't have the chain too loose. Plus, it makes it fun. You know what the first step to pulling the motor is? Taking off the motor mount plates.
I was just waiting for it to pop off the transmission.
Yeah, we'll just.
Look at that sunset going on out there. I feel like there's still.
It's mostly just chain bindings, twisting the chain.
No, it's a ground strap that I was thinking was still attached.
Shouldn't be anything actually attached now, it's just some bindings. So it's just gonna go up a little bit more. Twist it. We don't want to scratch it. Not every day.
Yeah. Not every day you get to work on a 200,000 mile Silverado, right? Nice and crusty.
What if some guy with a McLaren F1's watching?
Yeah. I'm never going to this
Yeah.
guy.
Oh, that was my gold engine day.
I think there'd be a whole lot more precautions taken if you were working on an F1. Did you see the new car they released? The new ad for that? That thing looks wild. Boat anchor.
Boom.
For you guys that are wondering, he did that in what I got here for 3 hours and 40 minutes.
Look at that.
That's good.
That makes up for all of the ones that take 17 hours to pull.
Like if I would have had to do this at myself, I am somewhat mechanically inclined, but like we were talking about, this is a little beyond my stuff. I've swapped out some transmissions before and done that type of stuff, and it would just take me.
Oh, let me turn this up.
This would have taken me every bit of a week probably just to get it pulled out because I don't know what I'm doing.
Did you replace the motor in here at some point?
But you said something about
It's an
that.
iron block.
That you thought, yeah, because you thought this should have an aluminum block,
Yeah,
and that's an iron block. So.
I might be totally wrong. I've been wrong before.
Well, I think 09 was like a weird year because
But everything from like 05 up or 06 up in the trucks was aluminum.
maybe Chad put it.
Maybe the block was messed up.
And yeah, you got it running because it was one of those. That was my only vehicle at the time. I had just
It could have been iron blocked before you bought it too.
could have.
I mean, most of them. I don't know.
But
It's all guesses. Cool.
there we go. That thing is out.
I'm gonna pull the head off and see what's.
Yeah, if you want to
Going
do
on with
that, by all
Let
means.
me vacuum off the mice.
So this
Do you want to grab the vacuum quick?
I can, yeah. Here. Show you guys the spark plug. This was our bad hole. And if you can see, that spark plug is all messed up. So we're going to pull the head off and see what the piston and everything looks like in there. Let me go grab the vacuum.
What is that?
One.
The best way to
That's, oh yeah, that one's mangled.
yeah, there's your
Not
valve
even,
spring.
yeah.
The valve is gone, so it may
It
not
dropped
be
in there?
usable. Yeah,
Yeah.
it might be done. There's a pretty good chance it's gone. It's full synthetics. All right, get this in my shoes.
Oh, please. Look at that piston, y'all.
Oh,
Shit.
don't try this at home. Huh? Yeah, it's gone. Is it in the intake there? I don't like that.
Just ate it.
Yeah. Your drive back from Colorado. gave
Yeah,
it
I mean, you can
the
see.
business.
See right where it hit?
Mhm.
There's a hole, like, the whole thing feels cracked.
Huh.
It was rough looking.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that is an older 5.3. No. Did they have the... I don't remember if they had the cross marks on these. No, but it would have had to have been 58X. I don't know. Yeah, it just ate it. It might have gone out the exhaust.
It's just floating around in there right now.
Yeah, because that's the exhaust port. So the exhaust port was open. So it would have pumped air in through the intake port. And just pushed it out the exhaust. So there's
So it
probably
could-
a valve in your
It
exhaust
could be floating
somewhere.
around.
Yeah.
I thought when it was running, as you were backing it in, it was the exhaust was rattling.
Yeah.
It might just be floating around in there.
Good. That's fine. We'll find that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you broke a valve spring. I think you broke a valve first. Maybe. Maybe it broke the valve spring first. This is a whole lot of what ifs. See that crease line in the valve spring right there? That's from my tune.
Yeah, it's all Brock's fault this
Yeah.
happened. That's for all you guys that are in the comments when something like this happens that are, oh, you shouldn't have modified your vehicle. Goobers. It happens. Yeah. Yeah, it happens.
It's hot rodding, just hot rodding with camping.
Yeah. Yeah. Driving around a big cam 5.3 stock
For
converter
100,000 miles.
for 100,000 miles on 35s.
Yeah.
Like, I was pretty much asking for this thing to break catastrophically at some point.
Yeah. No,
So,
it happens.
yeah.
It sucks when it does, but
It is wild that the valve is just completely broken and gone. Like, it should look like this right here.
it had to have broken the spring first.
Think
'Cause
so?
I don't think the valve could break the spring when it broke. It must have just dropped the valve.
Drop the valve into the... Yeah.
I don't think that head's fixable.
I mean, it looks...
You could have someone fix it,
It
for
looks
what they cost.
wrecked. Yeah, I mean...
Stick it in a shed for 40 years and then it might be worth something.
So do you think that thing is even worth going through?
Piston? Oh, that's what I was going to do before it fell over. No. I normally put a little bit more care and consideration into this stuff, but when they're broken engines, it's just...
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
It is what it is. Come on.
Muscle man.
Oh, lost compression. Come on. There we go. Random rag. I don't know.
I mean, that cylinder wall doesn't look terrible.
Yeah. I mean, the block's probably salvageable. I do. I mean, all the rings. Pistons. Dome pistons. 800 horsepower valve.
Don't threaten me with a good time. When I first started talking to him about this, I was like, what's it going to take to have 450 or like 500 wheel horsepower out of this thing? And he's like, with the 35s, it's probably not going to happen, but...
Yeah, a lot. It's
Yeah.
going to take a lot. It's going to take a different transmission.
Yeah. That's the thing with this. It's like, we're putting this in. The next thing that's going to blow up is the transmission, probably. It'll be slipping or something will happen with that, but...
And it'll be 6L80 swap time.
Yeah, we'll go from a 4-speed to a 6-speed at that point.
What year is it? 07?
09. So this, I think, was the first year that you could get a 6-speed.
The Suburban I had in here the other day was an 09 with a 6-speed.
Yeah. So we could look, I guess, see what the manufacturer date is on this, but I'm guessing it was really early 09 or late 08 manufacturer. All right, well, are we done for the evening?
Yeah, I'm calling it out. I'm tired.
We're going to get some of this junk cleaned up. And then I think we'll try to get back to it tomorrow, you said?
Yeah.
We'll get back here tomorrow and we'll try to shove that one in. So you guys will have to stay tuned. We'll finally open the box. You'll get to see it. It's going to look a whole lot nicer than that pile. All right, we got to clean some of this stuff. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, y'all. Welcome back. It is the next day. I went and picked up a bunch of junk from Napa this morning. I guess we've got it sitting over here. New hoses, belts, blah, 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 blah. This is the intake I picked up a few days ago. It's square port to match up with the square ports on this thing. If you look at this old engine, it has cathedral port heads. I guess the square ports are more desirable, so cool stuff. But we're gonna go ahead and get this box opened up so you guys can see what we got going on in here.
What are you doing? We have to go to Speedway. Yes, we'll stick it over out of the way. Howdy.
Hello, ho.
What are you doing today?
Not too bad, help yourself.
Doing pretty good.
A couple hoses for you.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank
Need a
you.
Signature.
Have a good one.
Cool. Thank you. You got that? Oh, clippers too. Oh, there we go. Yeah. She's a fancy gal.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's cool. It's got the old style cover. This is 58X, right? Crank? Yeah.
I don't know. I hope.
Yeah.
What are you talking? What is that?
I don't know. I think on the website it was.
All right. Well, if you guys just saw that clip, we pulled that off and very quickly figured out that it was not going to work. This is a 24X reluctor wheel on the crank, and we
Yes.
need a 58X. And you can't go from 24 to 58 very easily.
You can't at all.
Can't at all, I
You
guess.
just can't. You'd have to do it aftermarket computer, aftermarket everything.
And it's not something, like we talked about this a year ago. I didn't think about it, and when I sent him the link for this, we just didn't notice it. And so we got to take this engine back to Speedway. But luckily, they have something else in stock that has the correct reluctor wheel on it, and it's like a 480 horsepower motor, and this was only 452.
Yeah.
So
28 more horsepower.
So no matter what, it's an upgrade, I guess. We just gotta mess around and get this stuff swapped out. Hopefully we can get everything swapped today and get that nonsense done. But yeah, it was just one of those simple mistakes that we made.
It's a fluke deal. We didn't figure it out once it was installed in the truck, and that's all that matters.
Yes, we caught it right
I'm very
away.
happy about that.
So it is what it is. These things happen, but luckily enough, Speedway should take this motor back, and they have another one in stock that we can use. So it was nice to have a connection there that you could call. So
Yeah.
anyways, we're gonna
Shout out to Speedway for being awesome.
yeah, shout out to Speedway for this one. We're gonna get this stuff switched out, and I'll get back to you guys. There it is.
Number one. Number one.
We'll get it.
Number one.
All right, y'all. That was very painless, and I ended up getting a refund of a couple $100, and we got more horsepower. Like, just silly mistakes. This one we do have to swap out the oil pan because this does not have a truck pan on it, but we can use the one off my motor. It's just more effort, more nonsense, but we're getting there. It's 480 horses.
Clear on that side, got room?
Yep.
We can scoot her from
Something like that, yeah.
Maybe we're gonna have to scoot it another inch or so.
All right, we got the engine. What was his name?
Adam.
Adam. We worked with Adam at
He's
customer
awesome.
service, and he said in the like 7-8 years or whatever he's worked here, it's the first engine that's ever been returned. But that was super smooth. We got everything done. But it's going to be another day for us to get over here. Oh yeah, clean old Triumph Tiger. And then we're down here near the museum, so you got a couple of cool cars sitting out here, Lightning McQueen and Tow Mater. All right, back to the shop. I don't know, I think that's probably it for today, huh? Get this unloaded.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'll probably mess with another oil pan or something. And try to get all the parts accumulated.
See what we got.
That
there
way in the
sitting there.
morning we can just like
Knock
go
it
on
out.
it. We should stop at a dealer.
Wherever, yeah,
they
see if they have a
crank
balancer. Yeah. All right, we're gonna go see if we can find some more parts. Ooh, and my lens is super dirty. Sweet. We made it all the way to St. Louis, guys. All right, y'all. So I've made it back to Brock's. Here we are. We pulled the head off. He pulled the head off.
Pulled the head off so it didn't tip over again while
Yeah.
we're draining the oil.
We need to drain the oil on this one because we need that oil pan for this engine. We have a new oil pan gasket. We have a new harmonic balancer for the front because this has a car pan gasket. And I'm an idiot and I didn't even realize it until late last night. This engine is a 6.2 liter. So what I had purchased was a 6.0 that didn't work. And so we got upgraded to a 6.2 and it was cheaper. Like, I don't understand how this was $200 cheaper than the other engine. But we got lucky on that one. So this thing is, it's going to be a powerhouse in this truck. We're definitely going to need to do gears, and this one could use a bigger converter. I'd love to put a 6-speed transmission in the Silverado too, but it's all in the
It'll
future.
still drive better than it did on that old cam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm stoked on this. We've got quite a bit of stuff to do today. Your goal is to actually get this thing fired.
We're gonna try.
We're gonna try. So we're gonna see what we can get done. We're gonna get it stuffed in there and whatnot. And yeah, I'll get back to you guys in a little bit.
Ready? Let me cut the zip tie.
Yeah. Well, there she is in all her glory. Looking good. We're probably gonna take this valley cover off and use mine. We don't need this on here.
It's gonna get loud for a second.
All right. We got that's the harmonic balancer. It needs a truck harmonic balancer, which is in the box over here. Has a bunch of new sensors on it. We're gonna have to get the flywheel off of there, etc., etc. But that thing is shiny and new, boys. I'm excited for this.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Sweet. And all the other ones, like it's like they fit into a recess. So I haven't really figured out what to do with that. I just figured I'd find one. All right, the motor is setting down on the motor mounts. It is lined up, the dowel's in the transmission. It is almost completely flush back there. So we gotta just start bolting everything back together.
Yes.
Super excited, dude. That went in really smooth. Probably doesn't look so on the video the way I chopped that up, but was getting my hands dirty a little bit, you know. All right, guys. Well, here we are. It is day 4. I mean, we're behind a day because of the motor debacle to start with, but this is kind of where we finished off. Water pump and everything is on. Intake is on. We got to put the fuel rail on there. Belts and some hoses and whatnot. Radiator's got to go back in. But we'll probably get it started today. We worked until about dinner yesterday and called it after that. So I picked up belts this morning, so we should be good on that. And yeah, we're just gonna get in it.
We've got oil. We've got, I think, pretty well everything in here except for the O2 sensor. We have to put the clamps back on the exhaust. Close it, take this off, and let it sit for a second, make sure it's not leaking anymore.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So does this eliminate the need to like sit here and let it bubble with the? Huh.
And there's so many cars that we do that, like pickups, these things bleed easy. We don't even have to use this really, but it gets coolant to both sides of the thermostat right away. There's some cars that are a huge pain, and we don't even have to worry about it on the cars anymore because we do this. You can probably watch the hoses fill back up.
Oh yeah, because the hoses are completely collapsed. I don't know if you guys can see that from the other side, but this upper radiator hose is completely vacuumed closed.
And you can watch the pressure of the vacuum dropping on here.
Yeah, it's hard to even tell there's a new motor sitting in there
Yeah,
with all this dirty stuff on there.
that's a brand new LS3 in there, as you can tell.
Yeah. I really
Intake's
gotta
clean.
go old man and get the Corvette covers.
Yeah. Do the Haida coils and the old man covers and chrome alternator, polished alternator, chrome intake.
But we're getting close to starting this thing.
Yeah, added. How much credits for what? So let me.
We're gonna go get some lunch. I gotta show you guys driving around in this thing. Gotta let it warm up, but I'm sure he'll do a little pull for
I'll
us.
see if I can get out of here first. Too many cars in the way.
So you wanna tell him what it is?
It's just a little bit built up 5.3 and a 7675 turbo E85 TH400 transmission, and it's on like 3 or 4 pounds of boost. It is on nothing crazy. It's not intercooled. I kept it very simple. It's nothing too exciting, but it's fun.
Or at the car wash. Okay.
Not on the curve.
Oh, you're gonna get real with it.
Lower speed.
Oh my god, that is insane. Oh, I was telling him this thing is an incredibly terrible influence. Now I really want something like this. It's been a long time since I've had anything with a turbo on it. Love it.
There's an LS3 truck at the shop that needs a turbo.
Yes. Maybe that'll be
a
the.
better transmission first. That 460.
I'm gonna blow that thing up, but it's fun. All right, we're gonna get back to the shop and start doing a little tuning on the truck.
Put some miles on it.
Yeah. All right, Ahmed is getting the battery hooked back up, and Brock's gonna plug the laptop in, and we are ready to fire this thing. So we'll see what it sounds like. I'm excited, nervous and excited at the same time, but see what happens.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. That's not bad. After that top, it's got top, dude. I don't know if he's thinking it's got the cam in it that he thought. Kind of got top. I'm not I think a lot of that's like, really? He's saying that maybe timing. I'll be fine.
And I didn't think it was going to have any chop.
It's got chop. It's got some chop. I watched some videos of it. It's doing good. I mean, he's still got to adjust everything, but it's got a little bit of chop to it. A little rich.
So far, so good.
Super happy about this, dude. It's been too long. It's been too long. Yeah. No leaks, nothing. Everything look good? All right, I'm gonna let Brock work his magic. I'll get back to you guys.
It must have had like a big vacuum leak or something, because it's pulling a ton of fuel compared to what it was before.
Huh.
Like mid-throttle stuff. I'm sure we'll have to add some under heavy throttle, of course, but that's good. That's a good sign.
How's it feel?
Good. Good. Everything's looking good.
Feels a bit more powerful from the passenger seat. I don't know, like, feels torquey.
Yeah, no, it definitely, it seems pretty solid. For something that has everything working against it,
Yeah.
it is very good.
Wrong gears, wrong torque converter, huge tires, big lift.
Quite the aerodynamic machine.
Yeah, it's a massive brick.
That's how I feel about the Escalade too. Just a nightmare. Can't let the secrets out.
No.
I'm just kidding.
So you gotta stop, and he makes a bunch of changes, reloads the tune, we'll drive around like data log or whatever, and he can see what's going on. So we've done that, I don't know, probably 5-6 times already. No full throttle stuff. We'll wait until break-in till we do that. We got to put 500 to 1,000 miles on it. We'll change the oil and stuff like that. Kind of wanted to clean the injectors before we did this, but we didn't have time, so we might get that stuff done, and then, like, you know, we'll do some final tuning after that. So far it's going good.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be anything too crazy.
All right. Yeah. So we just made it back to the shop, and yeah, I guess you can tell them how it's going.
Everything's good. Everything went really smooth. Knock on wood, knock on cardboard. Everything went really smooth. I don't think there's really anything else. We just have to do wide open throttle. That's about it.
So I got to break it in a little bit, put some miles on it, and
Yeah.
and then we'll do that other tuning. And he said he's going to add a bit more timing and stuff like that.
Yeah, a little more timing, a little bit more fueling, bring in power enrichment a little bit earlier so he makes a little more torque, and should be set. Can't think of anything else we really have to do on it.
So big thanks to Brock here at Barnyard. I'll leave the links down in the description if you want to check his shop out. He's always doing some cool stuff here.
Yeah, and thank you for bringing the truck.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
All right. It's my turn to drive this. I got to drive it home, put a little bit of miles on it, but I wanted to give you guys my first impressions before we close this video out. All right. I think I need a new battery too, and I'm probably going to put a full tank of fresh gas in it. But it starts right up, man. I forgot how loud this thing was compared to the Ford. I need to check my tire pressures and all that kind of stuff. But we're just gonna take it easy, but get her done, get her out of here. And I need to get my exhaust kind of fixed up a little bit, because I have the lift. The front diff has a drop on it, and so these headers and the exhaust system, like the Y pipe that I bought, are not really built to go onto a lifted truck. So the little bend that goes around the front drive shaft from the transfer case to the front end is very, very close, and it has rubbed the drive shaft a little bit. So it's kind of a bummer, but we'll get that fixed. feels torquier, I guess I'll say that. My junk in the is rattling up there. Shift. There we go. Definitely need some fresh gas. Alright. I'm gonna go get gas and I'll talk to you guys in a second. I forgot how big this thing was. Not leaking anything. Alright, y'all. Got some fresh gas. I just want to floor it, but I know I'm not supposed to. But it does shift pretty high anyways. It's just me not being used to the 4-speed transmission again. But it is nice. There's not much power to it. Like he said, he's got the, yeah, it shifts high. Like he said, he pulled out a bunch of timing and whatnot just for the break-in period. But we've got the truck back. We've got the old Silverado back up and running. It's been like a year and a half since this thing has ran, so I'm super excited that this is back on the road. And it is fun driving around in a big old lifted truck like this. I kind of forgot how awesome that was too. But I think on that note, I'm just gonna go ahead and close this one out here. Not sure if we'll use this for the next one. I was planning to actually use the motorcycle for this video, but Brock had time to work on this, so we just ended up getting this done. Maybe we'll get the bike out for the next one. I don't know. The thing is, I kind of want to get my junk thrown back in here and take this for a trip, but we'll see. For now, I'm just super happy that it's done and I can actually move it around and whatnot. And yeah, I think we'll just close it out there. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm super excited about it. Hit the like button if you thought it was cool, all that nonsense and whatnot. And as always, stay tuned for the next adventure. I'll see you in a bit.